All right, 7 a.m. in Cebu, the Philippines. I've got to kind of check where I am, moving around the world. Welcome to Flow Friday. This is episode 32. And gotta say, it feels pretty exciting because we are moving into the world of uh, multi-agent orchestration, which is agentic workflows. But let's kick it off. Great to have everyone here. Thank you from wherever in the world you are as we start to extend our footprint pretty far. So it's pretty cool stuff. I'll share my screen and we will jump into today's session. It is a build day today. Oh, nice. Can you please give me screen sharing access? It's a build day today, so I'll go through a bit of news and then we'll go into getting hands-on and actually with pre-release access to a new premium feature. Everyone will have access right now, which is around the multi-agent orchestration. Excuse me. And this is the future, right? Being able to talk to one agent that can then talk to the manager agents and then the sub agents or the worker agents after that. So you can, in the future, we'll just be really talking to one agent and we'll go off and run off and do all the tasks we need it to do. So wild, wild world we're living in, that is for sure. One of our CFOs said to me this morning, we are living in the future. It's certainly starting to feel that way. So live from here in Cebu, the Philippines. I'd love to see you here one day for those that have been here before or living here. What a great place to be. Uh, just as a little insight for today's session and all future sessions, the assets for the episodes will be over in Multiply Academy. So the link will be shared to you in the chat. If you haven't already registered, please sign up so that you can get access to the assets. When you get there, you'll from the link that's shared in the chat, you'll land on a page that looks like this. You'll need to then click on that to go through to access the assets. And there'll be in there will be the avatars for the AI agents that we're creating today, as well as the link to the build along instructions. So here's what we're going to cover. So the top news in the world of AI, thinking ahead, the feature update, freebies as always, fundamentals looking at agentic agents, and then we'll build together with this early access, beta access, like literally came out last night. So it's going to be fun working through that, the early version of it. And of course, just covering Multiply Tech Academy and also the automations conversation. Now, things are moving really fast in the world of AI. I could spend a couple of hours giving you an update on the changes in the last week and a half. But the three things that I want to talk about today, one is, I'm going to say it right. It's not Gwen 2.5. It's, I think it's Gwen, you say it the right way, and how it's really killing off DeepSeek. I think people are saying, at least from a performance perspective, it won't be open sourced yet. I'm kind of thinking that they will. Also, the inflection point that's right upon us that many may not realize, as well as jobs impact. We'll have a look, probably talk about jobs impact a lot as we move forward. Qwen 2.5 is using what's called a mixture of experts in their architecture. And it's what's allowing it to really get this incredible performance, even over DeepSeek version 3. And from a performance, and so from this way to think about it is there's three things going on why it's performing so well. The first is this mixture of experts architecture. So it only really activates the relevant parts to have greater efficiency on the overall model. Also the training, so the training that was done for the actual model itself, and then fine tuning, which enhances the model's accuracy and alignment so that you're getting human feedback. Now, when it comes to performance, if we just looked at between models like DeepSeek, Llama, GPT-4o, and Claude, the results are really outstanding. If you look at a range of different tests that we're seeing, it is just no doubt that there is a huge race on right now with the models, and it's only going to get faster this year with the quality of the models. And the reason is this. This here is the scenario is intelligence explosion, and it's looking at the situational awareness based on the compute and the effectiveness of these models. Now, what's happened, if you look at it this way, GP2 was like the intelligence of a preschooler, GPT-3 elementary school, GPT-4 smart high schooler. And then we got this sort of scenario that's happened where now the models are making themselves more intelligent. In fact, one researcher was able to get DeepSeek to act twice as fast, which is quite incredible. And in doing so, once these models are essentially making themselves more intelligent, this is where everything takes off at a rate that, it's hard to predict now. The benefit is that, as the models get smarter, you then still need to hook into them. You need to have utility to them. That's where Raya comes in, to be able to choose the models that you want to interact with so you can get these amazing results. It's only going to get better and better and better, which is an exciting time. The other way to look at this too is to say, well, when O1 hit its performance, O1 Pro, at that point in time, it's delivering within the science and mathematics and engineering space that it's actually hitting the performance of a PhD level human working at Google in their specific field. So at this level is where the human is able to deliver the results. O1 Pro delivering in alignment, once again, specifically in their area, in science, math, engineering, technology. But what comes next with O3 and beyond is just hard sometimes for us to comprehend. But this is the rate or the pace of change that's coming. Now, of course, with all of this, the next thing that usually happens is, well, what's going to be the impact on jobs? We chatted about the World Economic Forum, their prediction. There's another great visualization here that was come out a little bit before that report, really looking at where the impact across the world will be. And Emad, the founder of Stability AI, also recently came out, and he was sharing to say, came out to talk about this scenario with the impact on jobs, and really saying that because of the quality of these models, we're going to see the first world countries will probably have the greatest disruption because of their need for service-orientated interactions, and that his reference was like kids in Africa who will soon be able to get a GPT-4 level model for free to use on their machines will suddenly lift it, where average IQ is about 90, will take it to like 120, 130, 140. So you're enabling people in zones where the salary rates are really low to suddenly lift up to being able to deliver work at a standard better than what we might see in first world, where the education system's been stronger for a long time. And so when you get this scenario where you've got people who are hungry to work, there from a arbitrage perspective on the salary costs, you then enable with technology, and they're hungry to use it and drive it. We could see that there'll be many countries that are actually going to rapidly move forward in job creation as a result. So for those that are living in the first world, and certainly if you've got kids, get into AI now, because they're really going to need to have this as part of their future of work. Okay, thinking ahead, we're always going to be skating to where the puck is going. And with this, the Raya team are currently working on installable open source models with computer control. So very much watch this space. We may even have a sneak peek of that for you, Flow Friday next week. And this is going to be an incredible time of what happens through MultiPlai.tech and in your worlds. Imagine where I think we're only a month or a couple. We're less than a month away from being able to install this and start to do the computer control, just like we've seen from OpenAI's Operator. Except OpenAI's Operator is $200 a month, currently only available in the United States. So we're keen to get you that access in your country outside of the US, and definitely for Flow Friday members for free. So, and we'll see just how far we'll take that. It's pretty exciting times. Okay, feature update, multi-agent orchestration. And this is what we'll be diving into today. This is moving away from just the simple workflows of having the data passed in a structured way from one agent to the next, to now agentic workflows, which is where you can talk to the one agent. It will then gather the manager agents required to do the work, and they'll then delegate it to the worker agent. And then once that work has been completed, we'll report all the way back up to the director agent. Right now, this is free, so get in and get started. It is just released last night, so we'll go through a structured approach, and there'll be a few extra few pieces that we need to do very specifically at the moment, and then in future releases, we're going to make that even easier. But we'll be following along those guidelines today. This fundamentals piece now is all about the agentic agents. So this is where, as mentioned, you're talking to one agent, and today we'll do an example where we want to do some financial reporting research. Let's say we're going to invest in the NVIDIA stock, and we want to make sure we've got all the best information. But rather than searching all around the internet to look for all the information, we can ask one agent, and it will go off, do all the research based on different areas of expertise to bring that data back to help us to get a remarkable outcome. And this is what it will look like. And now, in this early access release, when we get to the worker agents, we've actually hard-coded in some extra tools in there utilizing Google's APIs. And where this ends up going is things like, I might be talking to my AI agent, who's my main assistant, and I might want to do things like book a flight, or check on calendar availability, or ask it to book a meeting with someone that's in my contact database, or book a restaurant, or maybe I've got an event at work coming up and we need a caterer. You can go off and research a whole range of catering companies and come back with quotes. This is a really exciting time. The key, though, will be in the planning. And like I've shared in previous sessions, any businesses that want to scale, they've got a few things going on. They've got a real clear vision, mission, or purpose, values. They've got frameworks that they use to help give guidance on approaches. They've then got their strategy, then the goals, then systems, which are made up of processes, and your process is made of procedures, and procedures made of steps. When you get that going on, a business has the ability to scale, has the ability to train team members to be able to meet and exceed the targets in the work that they do. And that structure of understanding what you really need to do, beginning with the end in mind and having that clarity on expectations, is what's also required to get the most out of AI. Now, there could be an argument that somewhere in the future that the super AGI will be able to figure all this out. The experts that I talk to still say the reality is that what a human does at work is still very complex, and the big companies are at such a high level, they still require organizations like us to help carve out that narrow area to get down into the detail. So this is why we need the tools like Raya as the utility to get the usefulness out of the models once you get down to that specific job role functions and the work that a human does. With this, what we'll see is the ability to view not just the output, but also where the agents have executed the work. So we've got a great visualization for this. But the key is in the planning. And so with this, it's about looking at what are those specific tasks that would need to be done by a worker agent that's the expert in their particular area, the specialist. And so from there, just like you would have in an organization where you've got departments and you have a manager at the head of that department with the team members, we'll be thinking about the same way with the agents as well in these agentic workflows. To be able to group together the team members, the teammates, underneath a manager. Now, today we're going to keep it really simple, and in future sessions, we'll start to get into some pretty fancy and complex areas, which is exciting. We are going to move at pace today. All right, so let's build together. If you haven't grabbed the link yet, please do so, and we'll pop. Nice if you can pop that in the chat again. That would be super helpful. And I'm going to head on over to have a look at getting this done. So I'll share my other screen. We'll get into the work phase. So make sure you've got Raya open and open up the assets for today, the build along worksheet. I'm going to put these side by side. Jump into Raya. So I think the best way to always set this up is have Raya on the left and the instructions on the right. That's how I like to do it. And then if you want to keep my screen on a second screen, definitely these sessions you want 2 screens to get the most out of it. And I'll get the right instructions. That would be helpful. So once you're in Multiply Tech Academy, you'll see that we've got the avatars in here to add today. So you can choose to add those if you like, or you can just use the emojis. But to get these ones, just right click and save the image as. And down here at the bottom of the avatars, we've also got our Flow Friday build along notes. So make sure you click on that one. Is it going to download it actually? Let's see. Yeah. So I'll open those up. You can bring that to the forefront. While you're waiting, just go through and download each of these images so that you can use those. Put your notes in a section to make it nice and easy. And it should not say SEO fact writer for blog articles. How about that? This is actually a financial analysis. So I'll put financial analysis, financial research for stocks and companies is what we're doing here. And for this one here, we're going to go through creating the challenge itself, creating the agents, building out the agentic workflow, and then running that agentic workflow. We'll actually have a group of these agents. So we're going to have a research director who we'll call Greg, research expert Carl, financial advisor Michael, web search citation expert Dylan, Google web scraping expert Jasmine, Google search expert Christine, and a stock market analyst Sarah. And so what is happening here is there's a range of different tools connected to the Google API that have been built in natively, so that you don't need to add those in this version, in this early access release. We've actually supplied those for you. In the future, there'll be a lot more options around adding additional tools to agents to make that even more useful. But today we're going to keep it nice and simple. Okay, so now when we go to build these, and I wonder if I don't think you've got the latest. Sorry, friends, we have not given you the latest document there. So let's pause for a sec. I'm going to grab the latest document. We were still building this out this morning, so and I'll share it with you via Google in just one sec. This is looking better. Okay. Oh, looks like some people have got the link. Very good. I'll just pop that in the chat to make sure we've got it. Where'd my chat go? There you go. All right, now we're going to pick up the pace. You there, nice? All good?
Yes. Yep, all good.
Okay, super duper. All right, so here's the challenge. The future of engaging AI agents will be to talk to one director agent who will then delegate the task to the appropriate manager agent, who will then delegate the work to the appropriate worker agent to do the task. The worker and manager will then report back to the director, who will report to you. Now, initially, this is going to be done via the chat, but the future of this is that you'll be able to do it chatting on Teams or Slack or WhatsApp or Telegram, any sort of communication channel that you might have on your phone, as well as we're working on a bit of a magic button that will sit on your desk, like an intercom that you can just click and talk to and give you direction to your agents as well. So we'll tell you more about that next week as we progress that one. The end in mind for today is that we'll be using the chat here on Raya to talk to a single agent to then go off and do this work. And so part one is that we're going to be setting up the agentic workflow in its orchestration. And with this, it does require planning before you create the agents themselves. And the reason for this is that we need the structure to occur correctly. And so for the quick release of this, we just do it in the correct order in order for that to be the case. In a future one, it will have, we won't have that need. So we'll be able to visualize it as I shared before in the slides, and you'll be able to see the whole grouping of them together. The key is though that we plan this out first. And so you might like to use a pen and paper if that works for you. I like to use Lucidchart for me, or maybe something like Figma, where you can plan out your agentic workflow and visualize it first before we then go and create them. Future releases, I think what we'll see is the ability to build it out on the map. But for now, we'll be doing it in the way that we display it today. So the first of our agents we're going to build is our Google search expert. So let's go on over to our agents area, and we'll create our first agent by clicking on Build New Agent. And from here, the way the instructions work, if it's your first time, is that we are going to copy the purple writing. So, and the Google search expert is the first that we want to put in. Where we enter that is where it says enter agent role. So paste that in. And then you can give that agent a unique name as well. So you can give it any name you like. The name that I'm going to give this agent here is, I didn't put it in the instructions. We're going to make this agent, its name number one is Sarah. Sarah is going to be our search expert. So type in Sarah. And we'll give this just the area. Well, actually everything's financial, but I might put research and development. I could put financial. I could even put maybe operations or administration at this point in time. We can put up to 3 tags here. These will not impact the way the agent is written. This is purely done so that we can then filter and find the agents later on. Now, for today, we'll, goodness me, got to double check. I need to double check our instructions that I've given everything in here. Okay, I've got some very specific instructions to add in, and it seems like I still don't have the latest version of this document. One moment, team. Let me see why that did not save. That's okay. I'll put the extra prompts in the chat as we go. Because this is so new, I want to be specific that we get the right prompts in here. So really good if you're in the Google Doc, because I can just update this live for you at the same time. So let's do that. We'll start by generating the goal statement. So let's generate the goal statement. And then we will put in a very specific backstory prompt, which and we're actually not going to put base instructions in for the worker agents. So when we're in the director agent, we'll have a full list of instructions, but also some guardrails. Same with the manager agents, it's more specific with guardrails. And then for the worker agents, we've got no base instructions and no guardrails. And this is going to be important now. We'll make it easier in the UI as we move forward on those ones. Just one moment. Janet's saying, what if generator is not working? That might be because you don't have a language model connected yet, possibly. I'll get one of the team will reach out to give you some support there and give you a hand, Janet. I'm going to just quickly look to see where my notes went that I prepared early this morning and why we don't have these extra prompts in that should be there. Just one moment. So, okay, Google Search Expert. So let's give Sarah an avatar. So you can do that by clicking on the icon, and you can either select an emoji, or from the custom, you can drag and drop or select a file. So I'm going to go and select the downloaded ones that we set up. If you've downloaded those from MultiPlai.tech Academy, you can put those in. Let's find Sarah. And Sarah is the first one. So if you download those, the numbers should be on those. Hopefully it's come through the Academy. So number one is Sarah. So she's in a lovely yellow top today with blue hair. And we'll apply that there so that we've got the details. And I'm just going to double check these prompts. Double checking team. Thank you for your patience. I've got a little bit to double check here. This is the fun part of being, we're right at the early stage of a new feature. Okay. And sorry, I'm going to change this one to Sarah is going to be our, not Google search expert, but let's start with stock market analyst. Stock market analyst. So just make that change. We'll make her the stock market analyst. Change that one. And all I need to do is delete the goal statement and then select generate. Make her the stock market analyst. And we'll put in a prompt for her for the backstory. Yeah, you can just generate the backstory. Will be fine for this one. And we'll keep her like that. Then with that generated, here's the part that we won't do that we normally do. We normally do base instructions, but today we're going to leave this blank for the worker agent. Then, and in the future, we won't need to do that. We'll essentially override that if they turn out to be a one of the sub-agents or the worker agents. But for now, we need to leave that blank. We'll give her a professional tone of voice, and let's go with C on the disk profile, because as an analyst, we want that conscientious approach. So with that done, we'll now move on to creating the agent. So scroll to the top of the screen, select Create Agent, and importantly for everyone at GoTeam and MultiPlai.tech, keep that private so that we don't end up with lots of Sarahs. And then from here, please publish the agent. And with the agent published, we'll now move on to Agent 2, which is going to be our Google Search Expert. So change that one to Google Search Expert. And as you go to create the next agent, so to create the next agent, just go back to Agents and select Build New Agent. And we'll make this our Google Search Expert. So copy the purple writing and paste it into the agent search. Oh, and I didn't give that name before. See this sub area here, add a unique name. This is where you can give the agent its unique name. So I'm going to put Christine here. And I'm just going to put administration for this particular filter. And then from our avatar, when you select custom, and from the files that you've downloaded, you can then go and select number 2, which is Christine. So she's got a lovely orange sweater on there, looking happy. We'll apply that one. And we've now got the avatar being applied to the agent. From here, click on Generate. And then we'll also generate the backstory. We'll leave the base instructions blank, like we did before. And then we'll we'll keep the professional tone of voice, and we'll also shift that over to C, compliant conscientious for the agent. I put influential there, but I'm going to make it conscientious, compliant. We'll now save Christine by creating the agent. And then once created, we'll publish. So it becomes available within the agents to be utilized. Now, the next one, we went to already done the search expert. So we're going to change that to Google Web Scraping Expert. It's the next one that we're going to do today. Agent 3. Google Web Scraping Expert. Google Web Scraping Expert. Copy that. We'll go and create this new agent. So we'll select Build New Agent. And in the Enter Agent role name, we'll put in Google Web Scraping Expert and give the unique name of Jasmine. Jasmine will be our expert here. And then select the avatar, custom, and select a file. And our number 3 is Jasmine. So our Google Web Search Scraping Expert. Open that one up and apply. Just going to keep it simple. We'll make this admin for the category, generate the goal statement, and generate the backstory, and leave it blank for the base instructions for this worker agent. And we'll continue on with professional and compliant for the tone of voice and personality. From there, create the agent. Once that is created, we will publish. So click on Publish. and select publish. Now we'll create the next agent, which is going to be a web search citation expert. So let's, before is, we'll change that to web search citation expert. Okay, web search citation expert. Copy that across, and we will create the new agent, selecting build new agent, and enter in the name of the agent, web search citation expert, who we will give the name Dylan. Here we go, Dylan. And we'll add the custom avatar today. We'll select the one called Dylan. There we go. Open up Dylan and apply. Add in that admin, generate the goal statement, generate the backstory. And then we'll leave the base instructions blank again, and we'll maintain that same approach, professional and compliant, and then create the agent. And the next agent, number 5, is going to be financial advisor. So let's build a new agent, build a new agent, type in financial advisor or paste in financial advisor, and this will be Michael. Add the avatar. It's Michael. Good on you, Michael. Add the category. Now, naturally, when you see financial advisor, it probably makes good sense to put finance in there. And we'll generate the goal statement. And the backstory. Michael is still at the, is the last of our frontline teammates here. So we need to not have the base instructions. We'll give professional and compliant again in the style, and then create the agent. Now for agent number 6, our research expert, who's going to be in a manager role, things are going to be a little bit different for this one. And this is where we need these specific prompts. So as we build this new agent, which is our research expert, who is in the position of a manager, so we'll put in the title, and our research expert name will be Carl. So welcome Carl to the team. We'll add Carl's image. So number 6, that's Carl. Apply that one. Now in the goal statement here, we'll copy the one that I've got in the build along worksheet, and then the backstory. Copy that one over as well. Now here's where it gets important. in the basic instructions, we want to make sure that what we've got here today is copied across. Now you notice here, we've got some important things like delegate when required, so task delegation. So we've got some special instructions in the prompting, and in future release, we'll be able to have this prompted directly for you, but it's important today that we follow what's in the prompt here. Let's keep this professional and compliant. It's working well. And when we create this agent now, we've got a new step to do. And there's the first of the new steps to do is actually to add in guardrails. So guardrails are rules that are going to keep the agent on task and ensure that it doesn't stray from its directive. And so the guardrails here that we're copying in are these. I want to talk you through these. You are prohibited from using search workflow tool, suggest workflow tool, and execute workflow tool. You're not allowed to work on research tasks alone. You must always delegate the task to your sub-agents based on their respective background. So today we need to put that prompt in the guardrails. Future state is where the system will know that this is a manager and be able to add this prompting guardrails in. But today, very important that we put those guardrails in. Now, the next thing to do is add the sub-agent. So if this is the manager, then the manager needs their team. And so there's a new item on the right-hand side here called sub-agents. Now this only appears after you've created the agent, like the guardrails only appear after you've created the agent, because we now need to lock on that information or connect that information to the agent once it's been created. So we've got the sub-agents to add in. We've got Michael, our financial advisor, Dylan, the web search citation expert, Jasmine, our Google web scraping expert, Christine, our Google search expert, and Sarah, our stock market analyst. So let's now add those in. So we've got, start from the top there. We need to add in Michael. We need to add in, whoops, there. We need to add in Dylan. We need to add in Jasmine. We're going to come back and put some more instructions in a moment. We need to add in Christine. And we need to add in Sarah. Now, with our sub-agents, the next thing that we need to look at is that they've got some additional instructions or task delegation instructions at this point in time. And this one, I need to quickly go to my notes to then add in for you, so that we can give each of them the right instructions on how to behave when they're interacting with their manager, essentially. So think of that as, you know, you've got another standard operating procedure of how to communicate with your manager. And we'll end up putting default information in here, but also allow for the custom prompting as well. And so our leader's name was... research expert, yeah. Carl. So we're going to get, I'm just going to some other work. Ooh, I think we're all right at the moment. Maybe we don't need to do that. I'll get regs to check. We don't need to further prompt that one at the moment. Yeah, not at the moment. Okay, good news. We can keep this a bit simpler for this version. So we won't add any additional items in there, but you can give you extra instructions in there as well. Okay, with that done, we can now save those changes and we can publish Carl, and just one more agent to go. So it's now time to put in our research director. Research director, who we'll call Greg. So build new agent. Research director. Oh, great. So Regs is just letting us all know in the chat, we don't need to fill in the task delegation instructions on this demo, but for the audience, feel free to customize to have more control over the flow of the delegation instead of letting the LLM decide. Okay, cool. So as we do more testing and versions of this, we'll give more advanced ways to play with it. I put agent number 6 there, but it's 7. I've missed a number along the way. And what we'll be doing too is the benefits of being over in Multiply Academy is we'll be pushing out more pre-built examples of these, more instructions on how to do them. And at the moment in this beta release, we're not able to just instantly share all this work like we can do with the workflows, but you can bet that that will be coming as well, so that you'll be able to pull these in. There's going to be so many incredible applications of this as we start thinking about how task delegation works, to be able to really get into this zone where every team member has got 40, 50 agents that are at their call to help them do their work, but it'll just be simply talking to the AI to then go and get all this done. This is going to be such a great, crazy year. I'm going to put finance on this one, and I'll put admin as well. Kind of want to have a new category, I think. Okay, so I'm going to put in here, we're just going to copy these prompts today. So we'll copy the first one, the goal statement, and then the backstory, and the important one of the base instructions. And then we'll create the agent after we've added the voice. So professional, and we'll do compliant as well. Create that agent, and now we need to add the guardrails, and then go on to the sub agent, which is just the one in this case. So we'll add the guardrails. And then on the right-hand side, go to sub-agents, and we'll add Carl, our research expert. Whose image didn't appear for me? Oh, I'm in the, forgive me, I'm in the, I'm the wrong instance. Let's see how we go with this. I'll keep going here. We'll add Carl, the research expert, and save those changes, or close out of that one. And then finally, save the changes and then publish. For those of you who know what all these items on the left-hand side, these are all different instances of Raya. And I've been building in GoTeam, and I've just gone back to our playground where we practice in the playground before we do a build. But I'll stay here now for time, because we've only got 11 minutes to go and we're almost there, because the final thing to do is chat with that director agent. So let's go to the chat area here. Oops, what I didn't do there, I hope you might have picked up on it. Our research director, we're going to give the name Greg. I've actually ended up making mine twice. So the research director's name will be Greg. So in this final step, we'll go to the chat and we'll actually select Greg, our research director. And with Greg selected, we'll now paste in the prompt. So we've finally got to that point where we can just put in one prompt to one master director AI, and it can go off and make its decision on which of those agents within its network it will select to go and do the work. So we're pretty prescriptive on the direction of this one because it's around research. But where it will change is, especially if you're thinking of like, let's say I'm in real estate and I'm a salesperson in real estate, and I've got a whole range of different administrative tasks that I need to do. Like I might be going to an open home, and when I meet people, I'll need to capture some of their details, and I want to automatically follow them up with information about the open home. The future of this could be to just do that as a voice note, okay, into like Teams or Slack or WhatsApp, and that directly goes through to the director agent, who would then delegate all the steps to the managers and sub-managers. And so someone in real estate could have some sales administration role activities, like put that information into the CRM, set up an email. They might even say, hey, book a future meeting, or put a task in my calendar to follow the person up in 2 days' time. Could also be saying, oh, I've got a meeting with a prospective seller in coming up in 20 minutes. Can you please create my pre-meeting preparation pack? And the agent delegates to different agents that might go off and do things like competitive market analysis on other homes in that market, connecting through to a research database on house pricing. Could then put together another agent to put together a presentation information, another agent to then update the CRM with that information so it's all available there. Perhaps another one that sends that as an email to the contact. So it's going to get amazing what will be possible with agents, especially with this new agentic workflow approach. Okay, I'm going to trigger off that one there. And I'm going to expand the screen out now so we can see what happens. Okay, so Greg has now assigned the task, and we can see here on below working on the task. So here are the agents that have been pulled in to work on the task, and it's made its decision on which of those agents that we've pulled together and saying what's happening. So we've got the director is now over to the research expert. There's research being done on NVIDIA's current state in AI. And in that process to do that, the web search citation expert has been pulled together to actually go out and find some of the top level links towards that research information. Then from here now, with that in process, the research expert is now going to the stock market analysts to go off and do some research based on that information that was previously acquired, to go off and do the research. And then we've got the investigation of NVIDIA's latest GPUs has been sent back to a Google search expert to go and find information. And so we've now got a very, a full agentic workflow where the agents are now thinking about these items and then delegating the task to the next expert, and to give us the final outcome here. And so there's summary. Now you could have further prompting in this at the agent level. You might be saying, always deliver 300 words of information, or give it extra instructions. But right now we've just, as Reg shared, we've left that to the LLM to make the decision on what to bring out. And then you can have a look at the more detailed information from each of those as well. We can expand this out to have a look at the full map view of all the research, and then select any of the agents to get down into the real detail. So what did they actually pull together to bring the base summary? So if you wanted to get the full volume of information versus just the summary that was reported back, you're able to trace that through to see all the work that's being done and review the work. You can copy that, or you can download it as well. And then we can see as that's passed back through the information that's been sent through as well. So got the data that's come from the web researcher, passed through to the research expert, that finally makes its way into the final summary. So, often we may not want to read through all the detail initially. If it's, if it looks good, then you can make your way through to that extra info after. Now, today's example is very much a research example, bringing the information together. Where the future goes on this, which I think is super exciting, is where, what's happened here is that this agent is taking action, right? Using function calling, it's taken action on the Google API to go and get the information. Imagine where this goes next, which is things like making changes in calendars or updating other systems as well. So it's very much a crazy exciting time with what's coming, especially with these agentic AI workflows. All right, let me check if what comments we go. Should Greg just be, yeah, at the moment, only Carl was the only manager. So the director agent will only talk to the manager, and then the manager will delegate afterwards. We only put one manager in today for simplicity. Chris says, mine says I can begin the full research process to gather detailed insights on each of the pilots. Would you like me to conduct this research? It says now. Okay, let's have, and then it says a whole range of other agents. So let's someone reach out to Chris so we can have a look at the setup there. And then saying, how can I access the path view? So when we're back on, whoops, this screen, I'll go back to my chat. When we're on the main chat screen, what you'll see is below the first response from the director agent is this little tile here, where you can select it and it will bring up that path view for you. Okay, and that's same for James as well there. So the sub-agent visuals. And I think that was all those answered. Okay, we are right on time. Now, I promised to do the analysis on all the submissions for the automations. And thank you. So many have come through. I'm narrowing it down to the top 10. And, oh, share screen. I wasn't sharing my screen when I was talking. Thank you. Sorry. Goodness me. Let me repeat that one. So when you're in the chat, in order to get this view on the right, I'll just close that out. When the director agent responds for the first time, you'll see just below here this little tile. When you click on this one, it says completed the task, but while it's running, oh, it's still not sharing. Wow. Matt needs more sleep. So in the chat view, so we've prompted the agent, we've got the initial compliance confirmation, and then here at this little tile, we'll click on this one. Now it says completed the task now because it is finalized, but prior when it was working, you can click on it and you'll be able to watch it build out as it's doing its work. So, and then if you want to expand that out, you can expand it out as well. Okay, finalizing for today, I'm getting down to the final 10 to go into the automation program. Thank you everyone for the submissions. We'll be doing that next. We'll be finalizing that. And really excited to then be working with all of those individuals. We've also really expanding the team. We've got 3 new people starting on Monday and then another 6 to come that'll all be working on the automations area. So there'll be lots of support as we're getting started. And with this, really excited to see some of your work that will then be able to share and show and inspire others. And we've got a couple of really big name experts that are coming in that initial zone as well. We'll actually have mindvalley.com, if you know Mindvalley, they're taking on all the automations to play those out. And also, if anyone's met our friend Rory Flynn, who is the Midjourney master, I'll be working with Rory on some pretty exciting stuff on Midjourney as well. So these episodes are going to get even more exciting. I'm expecting to see some special guests this year as well, as we start rolling out these amazing integrations and some incredible experts in their areas of their fields of specialization, that you'll be able to see some of the work that they're doing in their organizations as well. So thanks everybody, and wishing you an incredible weekend ahead, and tinkering and playing with AI agents and seeing some of the great work as well. So do get right into the community, post in there, use that as a place to ask questions as well. Oh, final thing, as a reminder, just in case you don't kind of look at it very often, just the final reminder is over here on the left-hand side on the menu. A couple of things to look at. Submit new features, right? So feature requests. If you have a bug, report it here. Integrations, so that you can request those integrations. And then also Flow Fridays. If you've got ideas that you'd like to see for Flow Fridays, please add them here as well. We'd love to see that. And if you're in the early phases of getting started and you need a hand with something like linking up the LLMs, please book a support call. Or if you kind of hit that challenge, we'd love to give you a hand, a challenge of some sort, give you a hand there to help you along. Riz, where are you, Riz? You're amazing. Thank you for all the beautiful support you give to everyone. Big thank you to all of the team for the incredible builds that they're making and the advances with Raya. It's just sensational. And thanks to Nice and Razul for helping me with all the marketing and getting prepped. So thank you, everyone. Wishing you an amazing weekend and looking forward to seeing you next week. Bye for now.